The Luscombe Model 8 was a popular two-place light plane from before World War II until the mid-50s when it went out of production. There were a lot of them made in models A through F, and some of them are still in service today. I was the proud owner of a Luscombe 8A 1947 model back in the 1960s.
And here I am cranking up old 22 kilo on a cold winter's day.
Models of this aircraft were common in the 50s, but they were generally wood or stick and tissue. Plastic models of Luscombe seem to be very rare, if not non-existent. The only one I know of for sure is a 1/87 scale used to populate HO railroad layouts. Vacuform models can be produced with much cheaper tooling, and that helps them fill the gap of representation of this type of aircraft. A Vacuform model mold can be made by someone in his garage and used with a big toaster oven or an electric space heater in a shop vac to produce kits. In this video, I'll build a Vacuform model of a Luscombe 8E or F to go with the models I already built of Luscombe 8A. The only visible differences between the 8A and the 8E and F are that the late Model E's and all the Model F's have a taller square tail rather than a rounded tail, and that this little quarter round window exists in the later models because the fuel tank has been moved from behind the pilot out into the wings. Also, there's a tank pressurization probe in the Model A models, and once the tanks were moved out here, they didn't need that anymore. Built directly from the sheet of Vacuform parts, the aircraft would have no glazing. The windows are, marked off here, and if you put them together directly, there would be no clear parts, and you would have to paint them on similar to how they're painted onto this Cessna 140 model of the same scale. I plan to build the model this way, but you actually can build it by cutting the windows out and glazing it with thin flexible plastic, and you can build a little cockpit inside there. That's not going to happen on this build, though.
You can see I put some little tabs across the two joints to fit the two parts together. This allows them to kind of self-align, and it also reinforces the joint and makes it easier to handle.
Here's the fuselage glued together, and I've started doing some work to overcome the difficulties that I've encountered. The back end slipped just a little bit, so one side is high on one side and low on the other, and so I'm going to have to fill and sand that, and I have to be careful to fill more than sand so I don't completely go through the plastic in trying to fix the problem. Well, we have wings. I think I set a record of how many times I glued a wing on and broke it off and tried again. Once I got the setup here figured out, the second wing went on in only one try. Starting to fill around the roots of the wings.
I primed part of the areas that I've done a lot of filling on to see how bad or good my filling job is. We need some more work. Here I've finished installing the tail. Looks like it's pretty well aligned. We're ready to paint. Here I'm trying to mask for the second color of the color scheme. Time for the big reveal. I think most model builders really like painting. I find it kind of painful because I'm not very good at it. I do have an airbrush, but my compressor broke years ago and I'm too lazy to buy a new one. I've used rattle cans, but I just end up with a collection of half-full rattle cans. I'm back to brush painting, and I didn't do a great job this time, I'm afraid. Actually, it doesn't look too bad so far. I've only one spot where it ran under the paint ran under the masking tape a little bit. I'm kind of halfway pleased for a change. Looks like there'll be more than one spot, maybe 3 or 4 spots that need a little touch up, but they're not too bad. Next thing we need is wheels and a prop. Here's the finished model. If you like this video, give me a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. Also, there's listed after this some things you might find of interest if you are interested in this video.